Welcome to TC Config Studios. My name is Joseph, and I'll be your host for today. Today, we're going to be stepping through adding the MSP to our environments. So this is going to be Customer 105, the MSP Wizard. So this video is designed for the customers who utilize a managed service provider to do their IT for them. And this is how we're going to invite that IT organization into our tenant so that they can manage the tenant and do this policy deployment for us and use our customer portal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to our MSP access. And again, this is going to be a really short video, probably right around 5 or 6 minutes if I don't talk very long. For our MSP email domain, we're just going to type in our MSP. And you guys should, hopefully know who that would be, right? And so for my test company, I have Safety Lock set up as my MSP. And then I'm going to generate a code. Now, really, what this code is it's a DNS text record that needs to go out into your external DNS. So wherever your DNS is hosted externally, this is where this will go. So I'm going to put a timer up here on the screen. So there's a timer. And we're going to make that on top. We're going to reset that. All right. Now we're going to copy our DNS text record. Okay, so this is the important line right here, right? This stuff is just some other instructions for you. So I'm going to copy this line by clicking on the copy. And then I'm going to open up my DNS provider. And so mine happens to be GoDaddy. And this way you can see how to create this record in case if you're not familiar with it. And I'm just increasing the size of the screen. All right, so here's the text record we're going to have. I copied my other text record. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit this. So what you're going to do in your external DNS provider, you're going to make a record called text. You're going to leave it at, okay? That means it's going to refer to your default domain. And then you're just going to take that value that you copied from the other screen. You're going to paste it into the value field. You can set the TTL down to, an hour's fine for this. And then once you do that, you're going to save your domain record. How, each provider has a different interface. So don't know how exactly yours is going to work for you. And then we can click on verify DNS. Now I'm going to do this right now, and it should fail. Yep. So this is if your record's not populated yet, this is the message that you will get. Just means, hey, you need to wait a second. Oh, I forgot to start my timer. Oh, well. So we'll click verify DNS again. It's still not ready. And for me, usually it takes about 10 or 15 seconds from the time I click save until I can verify it. All right, there we go. So verified. And what that did is once we completed that, it generated a email message that we can send to our MSP. And I'll show that to you in a moment. I do want to just kind of mention that right now there's no relationships involved. So the MSP, obviously we just set this up. So the MSP has not done the other part of that handshake to agree to onboard you. So let's go look at that email that was sent. This email here is the one, that is set so that if you did this and then you get called away and you have to come back, you have an email here saying, okay, we successfully did this, we generated this, and if you need to, forward that to somebody else or send it to a different team member, they have this information. Now we're still waiting for another email. There should be another email coming from the generation that we actually send to our MSP partner. So I'm going to actually just kind of refresh my screen here and see if it pops in. And it did. So this is the email that we're talking about, the forward to your MSP partner. So we'll just go ahead and open that. And it just tells us what what they need to do, right? So here's the 7 instructions that your MSP will need to follow. It gives them the important information that they need. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy that right now because I'm going to need it. And so we'll just forward that to our MSP. So we'll click forward. And we'll just send it. Now, that's, from setting that up, that's all we need to do. Now, the responsibility is now going to be on the MSP to finish their side of it. Before we go, though, I do want to head out to our Entra Admin Center. So this is still sitting out in Azure from where we subscribed to the foundation, TC config foundation plan. I'm going to click on the hamburger menu and choose Microsoft Entra ID. And it loads. So what I did, it took a little while for this to load. When I run Clipchamp, which is what I'm using to create these videos, my system just slows down. And I don't think it has anything to do with Clipchamp. I think it has everything to do with I'm running on an older laptop. I need to tell my boss I need a new one. So maybe you can send my boss an email saying, hey, give the guy a new laptop. But I did want to go ahead to organizational settings. So across tenant access, organizational settings, you'll see that there's nothing listed here yet. Okay. Once the MSP does the other piece of their handshake of our invitation, then they will actually be listed out here under organizational settings. I'm also going to jump out real quick and we're going to go to users. Forgot where I was going. And it's loading. And you'll see that we only have the 2 users that we're using for our test. Once the MSP does the handshake that they need to do, then you will also have an entry over here for that MSP. And that's it. That's all we're going to do today for onboarding an MSP. Everything else is, the MSP needs to do to finish this relationship. So I wanted to come back in and do a little bit of a PS on to what we just got done doing. The MSP has completed their side of what they were supposed to do. So we're going to take a look at our MSP access management screen and we're going to just refresh that. I'm going to do a Control-Shift-R on that. And we'll see what the changes are here. So Control-Shift-R. And now that we see at the top, we have MSP access established now. And so we know that we have that partner verified and they've accepted us. And if we come down here, We have some details about that. And then it gives you kind of a little bit about, what the MSP can do. Again, you do control those permissions for the MSP on your side, but they do start off with a pretty extensive set. If you decided that you wanted to not have that MSP anymore, you just come in and you would just click the revoke access. I'm not going to do that right now because I still need this test tenant for some other stuff. But that is how you would just revoke that access, and then it keeps them out of your environment. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.